Hey guys, welcome back. So as a content creator, a lot of us get reached out to by a lot of manufacturers and companies asking to do reviews or to link certain products. And to be honest, most of those people I just ignore, or I write a little message saying, no, thank you, I don't think it'll benefit my viewers, because most of them won't. And I don't want to push something or show you something that I don't think will benefit you. But when I got an email from this company here, I was very, very excited. I had heard on Alaska Prepper from Rudy that this was a great power station. And anything that Rudy promotes, I'm just going to say I trust him. I know he's a good guy. I know that he has reviewed tons of products before. And to see how excited he was about this power station, when they reached out to me, I was incredibly excited. So they did offer to send me one, just to be straightforward. They did offer to send me one to review in exchange for just doing a video on it. And I'm excited to do it, and I'm very grateful. So I reached out to Rudy because I wanted to hear his input on it, about the company, about his dealings, because I know that he already had kind of an affiliateship with them. So I sent him a little email, and surprisingly he responded like right away. And he said, hey, can I call you? And I was like, yeah, Rudy, yeah, you can call me. I was actually at work. I stepped outside and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Rudy from Alaska Prepper calling. And for a second I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then when I started talking to him, I realized he is such an awesome, just regular dude. He's just a really good guy. He told me his input, his opinion about it, all sorts of helpful information. And Rudy, I just want to thank you for being a stand-up guy and taking your time to give me a call. I appreciate that. To be honest, Rudy, I'm sorry, but I thought you were pronouncing it wrong at first. I thought it was pronounced oops, like oops, the power went out. But no, it's OUPES. OUPES power stations. So I'm going to tell you a couple things, my opinion on this, honest to goodness opinion. I have another power station by another company, and I kind of compared this to it to give you my personal opinion on what's good about this and what it could do better. In the wake of Hurricane Ian, and I am so sorry to anybody who had to suffer through that, but in the wake of a natural disaster like that, it stresses even more the importance of having a portable power station. Maybe not one like this. This is the 1800 watt unit. Maybe not one this big, but even a smaller one, 500 watts, 1000 watts, whatever you can afford is very, very incredibly important, because you'll need to run those very basic things like light, maybe even a small cooking source. I think I'm going to test this thing out in the video with my rice cooker because I love my rice cooker. But charging up your phones and devices, all those very important things that you will need during a power outage. I don't want to lose thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars worth of food in my deep freezer, which happens in every hurricane. Everyone loses the food in their fridge and their deep freezer, and then they have to rush out to the store to restock everything. That's why the shelves are empty, because people had to run out there and restock everything that they had, all their food. I received this from OUPES before Hurricane Ian had a clear-cut path. So I was prepping as if that hurricane could possibly hit me. And this arriving right before the hurricane made me feel so much better. So let me just turn it on and show you real quick, and then I'll let you know about the test I performed. So you hold down the power button for 3 seconds. It's currently at 100% battery life. My little test that I did was using this for my deep freezer. So I have my notes here. When I received this unit, it was at 61% battery life. And I don't know if that's standard, if there's a reason for that, but I received that 61%, so I thought I might as well start from there for my test. And so these are my little notes. Basically, I wrote down what percentage it was at and what time it was at. I had my deep freezer plugged into it, and then kind of just checked on it every so often throughout the night. And I calculated that with my deep freezer, it's a 7 cubic foot energy efficient deep freezer. I can't remember the model. I think it's Insignia. That it would use about 1% per 30 minutes. So we'll say 2% per hour is about how much it was dropping down. And I was also kind of monitoring how many watts it was pulling at certain times. And for the majority of the time, my deep freezer wasn't pulling any wattage because the compressor wasn't kicked on. And I realized that the compressor only probably kicked on 3 times during the entire time I was charging it. So it has a really good long life. I mean, this will go many, many hours with a deep freezer or something like that where the compressor is not constantly running. So 8:42 p.m. at 61%, I had it plugged in. Now I marked all the rest of them until I went to sleep, and then I woke up in the morning and checked it again and let it continue to run until 9:09 a.m. and it was at 10%. So that's where I unplugged the deep freezer and decided I was going to go ahead and charge this up. So from 8:42 to 9:09, it lost 51%. That's pretty darn good. I was very, very happy with that, and it gave me peace of mind that I could at least run my deep freezer for a long time. So then I did the charge back up test. So I told you I took it off the deep freezer at 10%, and 9:20 a.m. it was at 10% when I plugged it into the wall. So the unit came with one DC charger. This is what the thing looks like. I believe it's a K-type connection. You can actually plug 2 of these in to charge it. I only had one. I'm going to give you all the specs in the breakdown, but I only had one plugged in. And from 9:20 a.m. to 5:39 p.m., it went from 10% to 100%. So I don't know how many hours that is, but it was faster than I thought with just one DC power supply. It charged about 13% per hour. Now I'm going to give you the full detailed specs on this because it actually is quite an impressive unit for the dollar amount that it is. Let me read my handy dandy notes here. Okay, it's a 1800 watt output unit. So 1800 continuous watts with a 4000 watt peak. You need to know the peak wattage on a unit because some devices, like even refrigerators, air conditioning units, when they first power up, there's a surge in the draw of watts. So you need to make sure that surge is going to be covered by the unit that you have. It has a 1488 watt hour battery, and it's a LiFePO battery, which is like the best of the best battery. It'll retain 80% of the battery life up to 2500 charges and discharges. So that is a very long time. It's about 5 times longer than any lithium battery. So if you're going to get a unit like this, you're going to want something with a LiFePO battery. It's just the best that there's out there. So there's actually 4 ways to charge this unit. You can charge it from your wall outlet with this DC charger. You can charge it with a solar panel or 2. You can charge it with your cigarette lighter type jack in your car, or the positive negative terminal that came with the little clips to clip onto your car battery. This compared to my other unit, 2 inputs. This is all the difference. My other unit is a 1100 watt hour unit, I want to say, and there's only 1 input. So you can charge it with 1 plug from the wall, 1 solar panel, unless you have like the Y cables to connect multiples. But with these 2, you can actually connect up to 4 solar panels, and it'll take 480 watts input from solar, which is incredible. That would charge it from 0 to in 3.5 hours. Very, very fast. I only have 2 solar panels right now, so I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that full charging capability, but I'll get there. I'll get more panels. And then the unit only came with 1 of these, but if I had another one so that you can use both of these, and if I use 2 DC charging units, I could charge it up in 4 hours. So with my little test here, when I went from 10% to 100% using one of these, it was about 8 hours. So that makes total sense to me that in 4 hours, if you had 2 of these, that you would have it charged completely. which is outstanding. Another thing that OUPES does very well is keeping the cost down somehow. So this 1800 watt unit with a 1488 watt hour capability, after some discounts that they have on their website, and hopefully guys, I'm going to be getting a special discount code for you that I'll have down in the description and pinned comment, that you'll get even more of a discount. But this unit wound up being $1,079.99 with free shipping, which is incredibly well priced. On average, you would expect to pay 93 cents, $1 per watt hour from any other brand out there. So 72 cents per watt hour is incredible. Okay, so you might have noticed that while I was talking, this screen went dim. It's a battery saving technique because you don't need this LED or LCD, whatever it is, screen lit all the time. So it will dim. Just press the power button, it'll turn right back on. But as you can see here, there are 3 AC outputs. You have 2 inputs here. I already described that to you. You have the Quick Charge 3.0, 2 of those USB chargers. You have 2 of the C-type chargers for like your phones and other USB-C charging options. And then there's 2 12-volt things here. I don't have too many devices that use these, but it is good to have them. And then of course you have your 12-volt DC option here. Now on the back, something that I thought was really cool, which I don't have on my other unit. You see how massive this thing is? I can still lift it though, just saying, watch. Okay, so it is big, it's heavy duty. It's not exactly what you would call a portable unit because it's very heavy, but I can still lift it. I hope that didn't blind anybody, but I thought that was really, really cool and helpful to have that light on there. And when it's running, it's incredibly quiet, which is nice. I do suggest that anyone just getting started invest in a gasoline or gas propane generator. But the problem with those is that they're loud. They're loud. You have to have them like 20, 30 feet away from your house. This is so much more convenient to just run extension cords from it. It's clean. It's reusable. You're not going to run out of solar power, hopefully. You're not going to run out of sunlight, but you can run out of gas and propane. So to me, maybe it might be worth saving up to get one of these instead of even doing a regular gas generator. Most people say get a gas generator first. Okay, so I can't just say good things about it. I am in agreement with Rudy from Alaska Prepper about 2 things that they could do to improve this. 1, make it a UPS or uninterrupted power supply. If I have to leave town and I want to plug my deep freezer into a unit like this, I want to know that it's going to last as long as possible. If my power stays on during the whole time that I'm gone, nothing will be drained. No battery will be drained from this because it will take the AC power coming in and bypass this unit. But if the power does go out, as soon as my AC power from the house goes out, this will kick in and it'll start taking power from here, but it won't take the power from here if it doesn't need to. As long as the power is running in my house, this is not going to be touched, no battery drained. So that would be a nice option. And then another thing I agreed with Rudy with, I'm sorry Rudy, I'm just going to keep agreeing with you, but to have expandable batteries. Some power stations do have the ability to add extra batteries to, and especially a LifePo battery, that would be amazing. There's no way to extend the battery power on this, but if there was some kind of, mount on the bottom here where I could add an extra battery pack and just keep stacking it, or maybe stack it, to a certain amount to give me that extra life, that would be awesome. But everything else about it, I really do like it. And if you guys can put some money back for something like this, of all the things that I have that I've been prepping over the years, as soon as I got a solar, I call it a solar generator. It's a inverter / power station / charge controller, whatever you want to call it. It's not technically a generator, But as soon as I got one of these, my peace of mind just went way up. Because one thing we don't want to be without in a society that depends on power and electricity so much is power. We don't want to be without power. There's some things that you just need power for. So I'm going to stop my rambling, and I really just want to do this test real quick with you guys in this video. I've never tested this product before. I don't even know how many watts it draws, but my trusty rice cooker, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and see how many watts it draws to see how many batches of rice I could cook if the power went out. Okay, don't judge me. There's already rice in there because we had rice for dinner last night, but I don't intend on cooking it. I just want to plug it in. And then turn it on. I use this rice cooker a lot, probably like 3 times a week because I cook a lot of rice. So I do want to know how much rice I could cook with this in case maybe I run out of butane or propane for my little camp stove and I can't cook rice that way. So hopefully, oh, you gotta turn this AC side on. Goodness gracious, that was a rookie mistake. Okay, so now it is actually running. So 240 or so watts is how much it's drawing right now. And at that rate, it says it'll last 7 hours. The rice only takes about 15-20 minutes to cook. Obviously, I don't want to burn the rice that's currently in here, but I just wanted to see how many watts my rice cooker did pull. And that's another important thing to know is how many watts do your devices pull? Somebody had commented, and it was a good thing to bring up. So if it was you, this is in no way knocking you at all because it was a really, really great idea. But those little electric hot plates, the single burner hot plates that you just plug into the wall, well, those things draw a lot of wattage. So it would probably even drain a bigger unit like this quite quickly. If you were cooking something on that little stove for 15-20 minutes, you know, boiling something, it'd probably drain this pretty quick. So it is a good idea to know how much do your appliances draw, the things that you plan on using. If you have a CPAP machine, any other kind of life-saving device that you need, how long is it actually going to last on one of these? And then make sure you know how fast it will charge back up too, because you need to know how fast you'll be back in business basically. But anyway, guys, hopefully you found this video helpful, and please look down in the comment section below or the description section because I think they're going to give me a special link to give you guys for a better discount if you do decide that this is something you want to invest in. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.